Ooh, and welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. It's the first day of spring, year 3. What a beautiful morning it is, too. Look at this. Amazing. An amazing game. And we get to play it. So, let's take a look and assess where we are and what we need to do, because like all springs, we're going to have a whole lot to do. Look at that field. Oh, that's nice. That's a lot of rye. Actually, we have wheat up here too. That'll be ready for, I think, the summer. So that'll be awesome also. And we got our carrots that'll come in the summer too. So let's see. We've got a lot to do. We have to change gears. We've got people working in the barn, so we're going to kick them out and go down here to the farm shed and assign Jedwiga and assign Kanuta. That way they can start working the fields. That means we have to get working on probably fertilizer. Let me see what we have going on in here. Okay, so we've got our flaxseed for 2 fields. And no fertilizer. We've got 36 rot, which means, I think, we have our fertilizer in here. We only have 59. So what happened to the other fertilizer? Is that maybe all we had? I think that's all we had, because we have this. We have 60 more right here. So we're going to get this done, throw that in the bin, and that way our people can work the field without any problems. So let me do this right now. All right, we got that done. So I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of rot left, maybe, or maybe not. I think we had an even number. Sweet. Throw this in the farm shed where they can get working on that stuff right away. That will give us all the fertilizer we need for both these fields right here. So I see we have a couple of warnings. Probably are going to have to make some tools. Some sickles, specifically. Specific sickles. So we've got stone sickles. We've only got 2. So let's see. We've got lots of stone happening though. So I'm going to grab... I can't remember how. I think it's 4. So let's go ahead and grab 20. We'll make 5. And we don't have any sticks. We'll grab a few sticks while we're out here. And let's run over here and make a couple more sickles. That way they'll have plenty of those. So now we have sickles, and probably need to check to make sure we have enough bags as well. But let me throw these in. And simple bags. Simple bags we have 1. Do we have any regular bags yet, though? We do, which means I need to check our management and see how many bags we're producing. So we can make 1 bag a day. So let's drop this down to specifically 1. Because we're going to be doing that much thread. That means we're going to be doing as much fabric as it takes to make a bag. So we might need a little extra fabric laying around. So let's... Ooh, wow, that jumped up really quick. Oh, okay. Let's do 4. We'll do 1 bag a day. We'll do 4 fabric. That's enough for 2 bags. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be nice. And let's check our kitchen to see if it's still cranking out our stuff. So we're missing wooden plates and onions. That reminds me, we need to prep a field for onions, which means we're going to need to buy some fertilizer, I think. How many onion seeds do we have? So don't have any in there. I should have checked in here when I was here. Running around. I don't even have to run over here to do it. I can just pull it up, but you know, it's easier. Onion seed. Okay, we got that. We've got lots of oat grain, which is nice, because we're going to be planting that as well this spring. And we got a little bit of rye. Grab the wheat grain since we can move it over. Okay. Throw these in here, and we need to make another field for onions. And let's see, got onion seed. We have 4. I thought we got 20 onion seed for accomplishing a task yesterday. So let's first lay out our carrot field. And for that, I'm looking at this space right in here particularly as being something that we can take advantage of. So we have, I want to try to put trees in here actually. So let's do this. Let's see if we can fit an orchard. Perfect. Okay, so let's run an orchard up to here, or do we want to go all the way? Yeah, we're going to go all the way. So we're going to go all the way to the end of the field, and then I'll add another one right here just to make use of it. That's nice. I like that. And now from here, we're going to create another field. And this one is going to be for onions, I'm pretty sure. So let me line this path up so we can have a deviation in the fields. I think I was running a little off kilter there. Alright, so we'll do that. And then how big of a field can we make down here? Because there's really nothing else we can do with this space, honestly. So we line that up with that, and we come to here. So we can't go any further because of the path. So let's come up to 10. So it's a 10 by 4. It's not bad at all. Then let's do another little bit right here. Let's get as close as we can, and oh, we can't come down that far. Okay. Well, then we'll leave that just the way it is for right now. So hopefully somebody will make that for us this season. Give us some time to get some things together. We've got this one going. We're going to have lots of rye left over to sell. So I'm not in such a big rush to go and pay our taxes just yet, because we have a lot of things to do. Flax seed, or flax fields. So we have to increase. So we have oats and rye, and this is going to be a flax. So I think we're going to do another field over here of flax. And I think we're not ready for it yet. I need to have money to buy fertilizer if we're going to make that happen, and we're not going to do it. But we can start prepping for fertilizer for next season, which is a lot of berries. So we can do that for sure. So let's grab a few berries. Probably at least 600 today, this first day of spring, and then that'll give us enough for 60, and we'll get some more. All right, that's 700. That's more than enough for right now. We have all season to grab some more, and we only need about 300 more, so we'll be good. I'm going to throw these in the bin just so we don't forget. And I almost forgot something else. We have to talk to Enrica. It's a new day. It's a new day, and there are things to talk about. Enrica.
How is life treating you?
Hey. I have something to say. How are you doing, beautiful? These athletic figure of yours is quite impressive. I simply adore your hair. People being proud of who they are rare these days. I'm glad to have met you. Well, let's see. That athletic figure of yours is quite impressive, is quite a bold statement to say. So let's say I adore your hair. Oh, it's only a +4. Oh, it's terrible. Supposedly there's a hunter in the valley that stuffs carcasses of the animals he's hunted. They are reported to still look alive, just frozen in time. You're so caring. I'm sure you're going to be a great mother. It's the finest dress I've seen in the whole valley, okay? Oh, shit. We're on a roll. Jokes. All right. +11. Okay. Oh, my. Do we get another one? No. Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
We had an opportunity to do well on that, and we completely wrecked it. All right. They're getting the fields done, which is awesome. They're doing a good job of that. And they've got all the fertilizer they need. They've got all the seed that they need. Actually, let's check this and make sure, because we're going to change things up just a second. I need to go into management and field. And the field that is this, we're going to just change the names, basically. So this one is, or we're going to do more than change the name. We're going to make this one oats, I believe, is what we're going to make this one. Yes, that one's going to be oats. I'm going to change its name to be oat. Like that. I'm going to change the name of this one. Nope, not that one. Change the name of this one to be flax and cabbage and rye. And that one's going to stay the same. And that one's going to stay the same. Actually, this one's going to change. This one's going to be spring wheat and fall rye, I believe. But we have to let it go. So this is going to be wheat and nothing and rye. Yep. And right now it's wheat. So we're going to have to wait a whole nother 2 years for that to cycle over. So we'll put cabbage in the summer, though, when we pull the wheat out, as long as I can remember. And then we'll get the cabbage in, because the cabbage will come before the fall planting of rye. So that's the whole point of that. We'll get the cabbage in and out. And this one's going to be cabbage and carrots, so we're going to have more cabbage. We're going to have a field. This one's going to be onions. And maybe cabbage. And maybe rye. Because we can fit all those in. That would make sense. That'd make a lot of sense. Yep. That's the plan. So our carrots are in. We'll get all of these turned over. So that means this one is oats. That means I got to turn this one into flax. So they'll plant the flax. Good. All right, that's about as all we can do there. We have somebody that has a task for us to do something with, so we'll go over here and see what that's about. First day of the year. Let's see who else. Denica. Couple in Gostovia. Lots down in Hornica. Nothing up there, so there's no reason to go running around unless we have a lot of things to sell, and we don't currently have a lot of things to sell. This person, hopefully they just need a bow.
Hey, old friend.
Can I help you with something? What is it? But I still lack equipment. Sure, this won't take long at all. And a wooden spear. Well, hey, I think I do. There you go. That gave us a little bit of coin, so that's good. That'll get us back up to closer to our taxes that we have. And let's see, we've got ore we can smelt, but it's not going to do us any good just yet. We've got berries that we can pick still. We've got everybody doing their things. We did get a point in survival knowledge, so fleet's already done. Less damage received. Not really that big of a deal. Insensitive's not really that big of a deal. We'll just go ahead and throw in knowledge and give that a little bit of a boost. We unlocked Hunting Lodge 2. So that gives us access to make a recurve bow, which is nice. Get these little trophy things going. Hunting Lodge 2 does allow us to put 2 people in the Hunting Lodge, but at this point in time, our Hunting Lodge is probably producing... Oh, we can already put 2 people in there. So, yeah, there's no point in that at all. 41 meat a day. So if we go look at our food storage, which is something we have to do anyway, because we need to get an assessment of how many meals we're getting made. So no meals are getting made, but we have plenty of roasted meat. Not sure how much of that has come from missions, but look at all this meat. So they're producing plenty of meat for us, so that's not a problem. We still have cabbages, so they should be making pottage. And maybe we need to change that. So if we go look at our kitchens, pottage is 30. We don't have any onions yet. Let's go ahead and bump up our pottage a lot. Yeah, it's only 5 a day. It's really not all that much. What do we got going on here? I think this is mostly meat, maybe a little bit of pottage. Let's back this off and force that into more of that, please. We got our barn working. Our extraction guys are working. They should have switched to... No, they're still doing all stone. So let's do this. Let's back off our stone to 40 a day. That's way plenty. And we need to get some limestone for insulation. So we need to boost that. But we also need to start gathering clay. So later on down the line, clay is very needed. I can't produce enough with one excavation shed, so getting an early jump on it is just going to be helpful for everything. Limestone, that a day is not really enough. Let's back this off and increase our limestone. So 8 limestone, I think it's 8 limestone per wall for upgrading a house, I think. Donkey is still doing good. We could probably make some food, but I think Donkey has plenty. Houses, we have 1 vacancy, and that should be Henrika. And we have our house. So we could take advantage of the resources that we have right now, and we could take this house down and produce another one. What is the technology we need for a new house? Boy. We still need 500, so that's a lot of building. We can unlock the log fence, though, but we have to pay taxes. So it looks like we need to start getting into producing a lot of stuff. Our flax is still getting done, and we don't have nearly enough flax fields. So I made the mistake of not ramping up our fields sooner. We should have probably at least twice the amount of fields that we have right now. Both for income, but also for getting us the flax we need to produce materials so we can sell them. So we have a whole field of wheat. So let's say we keep 50. So let's grab 38 and keep 50. Rye grain is planted, just harvested. So that means this is all free. So we'll grab that, although we could make that into animal feed. Let's wait. Let's throw that rye back in there just to see where we stand. Oat grain could be sold, onion seed. We need onion seed to plant in that field, and we need fertilizer to do that field also. And we have enough cabbage for next season. Yeah, overall, we don't have a whole lot of stuff. Let's see what we can sell. See if there's any, so we got a lot of apple seedlings. I'd rather plant those, though. 175 for a bronze axe. That'll put us close. All right, I'm going to take it. I'm reluctant to sell it. The copper axe. All right. All right. We'll sell it. I'm going to sell these just because we can. It's not going to be that much money. I'll keep the fishing spear there so we can fish. Now, this is a tempting one also, to sell that iron sickle. We got a pretty good amount of linen thread. So if we wanted to, we could sell that. But I think right here, so I want to keep 100 grain plus 100 grain for fields. So if I sell 94, that's not going to be too bad. So we can sell 94 grain, so 100 for the fields, 100 for animal feed. We only have the donkey. Donkey doesn't require very much. Oh, all this plum wine. We can sell that. But look at all that rye. Oh, you want to talk about something to sell. I'm going to keep the oat grain just because I see all that rye. If we can process that rye out, 200 of it can be sold today. And that'll help pay for taxes. But I don't think we're going to need it. So stone arrows, stone axes, stone hoes. We do need more hoes, so I'm going to have to make those. So let's grab... is it 4? Might be 4 per, so let's grab 16. I'll make 4, and I'll grab 4 logs. I'll make some hoes, and looks like we're doing okay on everything else. I could sell all these torches too. These things are all just taking up space. Keep the 100%er for our own use in the future. We've got hammers, so yeah, we're doing okay. So let me go over here, make some stone hoes, put those in the thing. What am I doing? Let's keep the highest percentage cudgel. Hose is what I'm putting away. Stone hose. Okay. Sell the flour too. All right. Now we got a little bit. We can head over and pay some taxes and get that out of the way. Give our people time to work on the fields, get some more field work done. Looks like they already did these for the orchard. So we can plant those plums when we come back, or possibly the apples, and get all that underway, and that'll be awesome. Yeah, they're making real quick work of these fields. That's nice. We definitely need more of them. So, if we make enough money, we'll probably end up buying some stuff to make fertilizer. That's the other thing. It's the first day of the year. Let's head to Denica and talk to the cook. Let's see if she's got any rot. May not be significant enough to even bother, but sometimes they have rot. You can grab it for nothing at all. Might as well park here. Somebody has a quest, so find out what that is. Hey,
Nice to meet
Siegfrieda. What can I help you with? I'll let you know if I have any to spare. Okay, so she needs a little garden, so let's find out what that's going to be. Beetroot and onion. Okay, well, That's not a problem.
How are you?
Dagobert, show me
Best
your
goods in the
wares.
valley.
1 beetroot seed, please. And 1 onion seed, please. But first, let's do the copper axe and the cudgels and the flour. It's all not much, but it'll add up. We're wearing that sweaty fur and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to do the sickle. Oh, does he have? Yeah, that'll basically take almost everything he's got, which is fine. And let's see, 150 left, so let's do some torches. We gotta deliver the skin, the water skin. Oh, wait, show me your wares
My
again.
wares never disappoint.
So we have 2,900, so we're 1,000 over, roughly. Let's say 900 over, just to play it safe. I do want to get some onion seed, so get some onions in. So if we bought 40, that field can take 40. That's not so bad. Okay. Feeling okay about that.
See you soon.
I just realized we don't probably have enough bags made at the other one. Hey, here's your seeds. Wonderful. Glad I could help. A little bit of dynasty points there. Let's see, we still have the typical lady suspects over here. All not really worth doing much for. Didn't check to see if he had rot, though. Dagobert could have some rot.
How are you?
Hey, show me your
Best goods
stuff.
in the
Do
valley.
you have any rot? No rot. I'm wondering if they
See you
patched that
soon.
out. So it used to be the vendors would have rot the first day of the season. And that's a curiosity.
Hail,
If they
friend.
did.
Whatever you need, I've got it.
Do you have rot? Nope. You don't have any rot either.
See you soon.
Maybe we're too early. It's still only the 3rd year. May not have accumulated enough rot yet. Or any, for that matter. Alright, we're going to head over to Gostovia. We're going to go pay our taxes, get that out of the way. May even go up and talk to Sambor, since we're going to be over there too. Things at home seem to be well enough in hand, although I do have a concern they're going to run out of bags. So let's go back and make those. So remember, we had 2 simple bags and we had 1 regular bag. Yeah, just to make sure. Which means our error may have decided what we do for the day anyways. So instead of going to Gostovia today and paying our taxes, I think we're going to end up taking down our house. We'll make these bags, that way they can keep pumping out on the field. Let's grab some leather. Let's see, 3 per, so let's make 4. Oh, I must have some leather on me. So now we can throw those in. And there should be very little holding us up on getting some things done. So we have our onion seed. I'm going to go throw that in the other one. I'm going to go ahead and throw that other seed we have in there. We have enough money to pay taxes. I'm not nearly as compelled to start selling it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and throw that bronze axe in there too, just to get it off of our stuff. So there's the onion. And there's the wheat. So, all right. So now they're going to start probably tilling this one. So we're already getting our oats down. Should be getting our flax down. Let's take care of our house. Get that taken care of because we need to have a good place for either other people. Oh, we're still wearing that fur too. That's the other thing. So let's do that. Boots. These boots are made for walking. We do have to give Alwin his water skin though. It's been an entire season, you know? It's kind of like, what are we going to do? Keep it from them the whole time? The boys are going to be thirsty. But I think we can get this taken care of. Unfortunately, we have to take out this this apple orchard, which is a bummer, but it's the way it is. Now, do we have room for a house? I hope so. Because otherwise we tore that down for nothing. But we can go back pretty far. So I think I want to come off the corner of this one. Yeah, I couldn't have kept the orchard, but it would have been close. So let's see. We come back. Yeah, we can go back really far. Let's try this and see what this looks like. Yeah, I feel like that works well. I do believe that's going to work well. So let's just get to building. So we need 7 stone for the foundation. We're going to need at least 24 logs, maybe 26. So we have 12 on us. Let's just grab 14 more and grab some stone. 7 more stone. Finish that up. Do our little sideways shuffle over here. This will give us some more space for recruiting as well. Potentially. If things with Henrika go well. Alright, let's grab some stone and some logs. And we should be able to get this house done pretty doggone quick. It's getting late in the day already. Let's see, how many more logs do we need? 12? Let's grab 12. Probably don't need that many. And let's grab 50 stone. We're going to be too heavy. Can't move. Alright, so let's get rid of the sticks and the straw. Let's get rid of 15 stone. Don't know if it'll be enough. Spears are heavy also. It's enough. It's enough for now. And we have a new house just like that. Fabulous. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Forgot to put in the orchards, guys. They're not going to fit. Oh, no. How far out do we have to come? That far? That far it is. And we're too far over, too. Gotta come over just a little bit toward the path. We have to put it over here, maybe? Let's just do it over here. This will be the orchard side. That way the fence will continue from this one. Go over. So, let's see. Come off of here. Any day now. Come out. How far? Should have used the orchard as a guide. Something like that. Little pathway going up to the door. Something like that will work. Something like that will work. All right, it's late. It's time to go to sleep. And now, day 2. Day 2 of spring. And we got to get some things done. So now that we have our house, we can get on donkey. We can go over and pay our taxes. And maybe, we'll have time to go over and, oh, you know what though? We need to buy fertilizer. Didn't buy the stuff for fertilizer. I only bought the seed. We're not going to get our onions planted. That's a bummer. Okay, well let's just do what we can do, right? We got to get our onions in, and we've got to get that taken care of. We have 2,600 coins, so let's go to Gostovia. Let's get that taken care of. We do still have another day, so while we're in Gostovia, we can buy some stuff for fertilizer and get that taken care of. I do think I want to go the long way to take advantage of any loot opportunities, but maybe we'll just try the path over here by us, see if there were any developments over the turn of the seasons. Maybe we have a new cart over here somewhere. Maybe there's some camps on the hills. We'll run down here to the left, see if there's anything down here in the trees. Well, we'll just run down to the water, and then we'll cut our way over, because there's going to be nothing between us and Gostovia and fields and stuff, so. A little hawk right there or something. Oh, there's a card right here. That's good. At least we're not getting skunked. Hey, a bronze sickle. Nice. Some more flax. It's more flax seeds. That's cool. And what else? Might be it. I know somebody commented that I missed some stuff in the other loot that I was looking at, but be sure that was on the way to like Lesnica and stuff, so it's pretty far away. Any bags? Yep, there's a couple bags. Let's see what's in them. Some hops. We'll sell those. We're not ready for hops yet. Ooh. Could be something. Could be something. Was that Alwin? I couldn't tell. Hey, Unighost. There you go. This should be it. There we go. Alright, so let's grab Alwin. Let's see if he's happy about us returning his water skin. Hey, this is a really awkward angle. You look really tall. Thank you, it'll help me a lot. You didn't have a lot of trouble with that request, did you? Let's see. The sower didn't have leather to repair the water skin, so I had to hunt down some wild animals. No big deal. So you can craft tools and hunt. You are truly amazing. My mother was pretty handy with a bow and spear. She used to take me hunting. I envy you. My father only taught me how to work in the fields. Remember, in the end, you are the one who shapes your own fate. Well, that makes sense. Well, it's time for me to leave, so see ya. That's what we got the 20 onion seed for. That we didn't get yet, but now we have it. So now we have plenty of onion seed for our field. So that's cool. Somebody has a quest. Let's see what they need. Maybe it's something we can come back for tomorrow.
An unfamiliar face. Welcome.
Oh. Well, hi, Berta. I'm surprised we haven't met yet. You have an errand. What's it about? I pledged to create some pants. Sure, I'll bring you some material. It's probably just leather. So let's see. Yeah, it's leather. We have 5 on us. So let's Let's grab our trusty steed. Come on, donkey. There's another one over here, too. Let's figure out what they want also. And then we'll go hit some leather to the, what direction? East. We'll go to the east, get some leather from some deer or something. And let's see. Lesota.
A newcomer.
Saw you before.
Pleasure to meet you.
Didn't recognize you. What can I help you with? What's going on? Night we can hear horrible howls and bears. Okay. All right. So it's going to be a hunting quest. The night howls. So we're going to have to kill some. We're going to have to kill some animals tonight. We're going to have to kill wolf. And he's going to give us some arrows and coin. That's nice. So the leather, we can do that right now. Let's go grab, I think there's pigs over here we can kill. I don't know if there's deer over here. Probably. There's deer everywhere, right? There's definitely wolves over here. Yeah, we discovered a boar spot, so there should be boar in here. Let me check that quest, the night howl. Oh, it's got 2 seasons left until it expires even. And usually it used to say that you had to wait until nighttime to do it, so that's nice. Let's just go ahead and knock that out right now. There should be boars and wolves right here. And deer, apparently. Well, there's one. Oh, that was me being too slow. Where are these boar? I don't even hear them. Rooting around and snorting. Where are they at? Hello. Oh. Yeah, go on it. Ooh, we gained a hunting level. I think that means we can put a point. Let's check this out. I think we can put a point in our tracker. Yes, we can. Having a hunting knowledge is really important. And steady hand, we'll do tracker. Those night hunts, that's exactly what we want. All right, so we got the leather that we need for Berta. And we're heavy. I think we probably have a whole bunch of stone on us from building the house. Come on, donkey. Let's go back to Berta and we'll go take care of some wolves. Where we know there's wolves. Because I'm not seeing them over here. No carts, no wolves. There's a bridge down there. That's probably where the cart is. How much stone do we have on us? A lot. Can I drop it? I can't. Alright, we're just going to drop it. Berta. Here you go. And we got a straw hat. So let's do this. Let's go back to that trail. So we were close. Why would we not? It certainly is going to have... Let's check the water too. It certainly is going to have a cart down there, right? It's got to. We have not been down here. There's a little package right there though. So that's good. But we haven't been down to this bridge. Since we started the game. So this will be our first time all the way over here. I think. Could be wrong, but I think we haven't been over here. Hops. It's kind of lame, donkey. It's kind of lame. And let's see, there's no cart. Oh wait, there's package right there though. There's stuff, there's bags. There's things. Oh, we're hung up. least it's not hops. Poppy seed's nice, actually. We could get that in the ground, too. And that reminds me, I needed to buy stuff for fertilizer. Yeah, we'll run across the street. The street, the stream, the creek, the river, this body of water. We'll go over here and give a look. Or do we just go ahead and go to Sambor? My God, we're already here. Looks like we're running that way. Oh, but look at that. There's a big package over there. Ah, donkey. And there's planks in the water. It's the first time I've seen that. That's so interesting. 10 bar and ore. Alright, let's go to Sambor. Since we're here, might as well get it done. Because he's got to have some interesting things to talk about with the part of the whole group, right? What were they called? The, gosh, I forgot their name. I have to look at it now. Unigo's story. Talk to Sambor, because he was a member of the group called what? I want to say the Rememberers. I don't think that's right. This is where Sambor is. Sambor? Are you Sambor? You are Sambor. The yellow exclamation made me think so. I think you're lost, boy. Hey, I didn't mean it. Wait a second. Look me in the eye. Stop shivering and crying out loud, huh? Black and blue. You're Jordan's family, aren't you? Yes, my name's Rasimir. You must be Sambor. Now, do you know that? I was talking with the Unighost, and he told me that you were a part of the Reminders. The Reminders. That's what they were called. Part of what now? The pack? The one with Unighost and Jordan? I've never heard his idiotic name in my life. I'm sorry. Maybe I made a mistake. We were called the Undying Fist. That's a whole lot better name. You're damn right it is. That's because I came up with it. Everyone loved it. No idea why Unighost lied to you like that. I'm sure he was just jealous about your creativity. Ha! Of course he was. Not only about that. Anyway, I would love to hear some stories about my uncle and the pack's adventures together. That's an amazing coincidence because I would love to spend my time telling the old tales by the crackling fire. Would you really? No! Leave my property and forget where it is. Oh, come on. It will only take a moment. Just a moment. Just tell me, what was my uncle like? How did you become part of the Undying Fist? And what did you do exactly as the pack? You don't know what we did? Well, Unighost didn't get to that part yet. All right. But be quiet and try to be less annoying. Where should I begin? Right. It all started when Jordan left his home. He was 18 at the time, if I remember correctly. That clever bastard was always too big of a fish for his birthplace, and he knew it. He left as soon as he could. But cleverness at such a young age always means two things, being arrogant and hot-headed. His plan was to set out on a big adventure, and that's it. Pretty detailed, huh? A path like that is paved with the skeletons of young idiots, but none of them was Jordan. Either way, he was wandering for days. Days soon turned into weeks, and his rations into dust. He was useless as a hunter back then at least, so berries and mushrooms was all that he could get. So obviously, he needed some coins. He came across a manor with orchards so vast they seemed like an ocean. Jordan managed to find some work there. A week of back-breaking labor had passed. His hands were covered in blisters, skin red from the scorching sun, and knees pulsating from pain. I must say, you're really an amazing storyteller. I wasn't expecting that. Shut up. Don't you want me to finish? Where was I? Yeah, right. He was exhausted from all the strenuous work he's done. He went to the lord of the manor with a smile on his face to collect the payment. His stomach was already full with fantasies of all the delicious treats that he was dreaming of buying. And all of that was ruined by the hand of the Lord holding a couple of lousy coins. Jordan was furious. That was merely a fraction of the pay that he was supposed to acquire. He started shouting at the Lord, demanding justice. Peasants were just flies to the Lord. Disgusting, replaceable insects. And what do you do with a fly which buzzes too loudly? Both of the Lord's palms struck Jordan's ears with the strength of an ox. Jordan fell to the ground stunned, and the Lord's guards threw him out of the manor like garbage, stealing that few pathetic coins while doing so. It wasn't until evening when Jordan regained his hearing, and with it came a fervent thought. The thought of revenge. Your uncle was quite a capable fighter when I met him 10 years later, but he wasn't back then. He knew the guards would massacre him if he only came close. So he needed to find another way to fulfill his vengeance. Jordan was always ambitious, but that hatred fueled him like nothing before. And what happened next? What came later was me becoming bored of this conversation. Go away. No way, you can't leave me like this. I can do whatever I want. Scram. I have things to do. What things? I'll do them for you. I'll do anything. Just please, tell me the whole story. Damn, you're annoying. Please? Fine, just shut up. Just say what needs to be done. You won't regret it. Here, grab this shovel. It's a piece of crap, but it'll do. There are clay deposits behind my house. Go there and dig up some clay for me. Clay? That's your pressing need? First of all, I don't need to explain myself to you, child. Secondly, it's for medical purposes, and that's the answer that'll fully satisfy you. You got it? Whatever you say. All right, so he gave us a shovel, I think, right? Probably a wooden shovel. We already have one. We got a new one. Okay. We have to dig some clay. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. Oh, no. Can I unstuck from here? Can Donkey come? Oh. I got stuck. Please come right up to me, Donkey. Oh. No. Come here, Donkey. You're too far away. Unstuck. Oh, all right. Good. Yeah, hot. Okay, now I can dig some clay. I have to dig up 2 whole deposits? Oh my god. There's one. Hey. A strange deer. There's a lot of strange deer. And I'm hungry. What's up with the deer? Oh, that stuff's almost poisoned. Or is it poisoned? Did I get poisoning? Nope, did not. Got lots of deer, though. Oh, wow. And some wine bottles. More deer. What's the value of these things? They look nice. They're not deer, strange deer figures. 30 coin apiece. That's not very much. More. They're everywhere. So all of this was for him to show us his deer. Do they go back here? Doesn't look like it. Just have a lot of morels. It's hard to tell what's a deer and what's a mushroom and what's a log. I don't know. It's starting to get dark though. It's getting dark, Sambor. It's getting dark. All right. Here's the clay you wanted. All right. So as I've already said, Jordan wasn't much of a fighter back then. He didn't have any money or connections, but he had one thing, an unusual ability. You see, from an early age, Jordan was an exceptionally good liar. No sweaty palms, no voice cracks, no tells, really. Calm, steady breaths, eye contact held all the way. He eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even in the craziest of situations. But it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying, no stress at all. It was as natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it's really hard to believe that it worked so perfectly. At first, he convinced the nearby town's tailor to sew him a whole set of clothes, worthy of the most wealthy nobleman. The finest of fabrics, silken threads, you name it, horrendously expensive. So how did he manage to afford it? It's simple. He didn't pay for it. He stole it? I said no such thing. Jordan wasn't a thief. Not the traditional meaning of the word. Apart from that, did I finish the damn story? Well, while wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle of the king of the realm, and he entered it. All right, now I know you're making this up. Ha, you're absolutely right. It's mad to even consider trying to pull that off, but Jordan, he just walked straight in. I don't blame you for doubting me. Damn, I would have been first to doubt a thing like that if I didn't see him doing it hundreds of times later. Anyway, he walked right into the castle. And once he was there, he followed through with his plan. Which was what? Bedding his wife. What? Whose wife? The king's. The king's wife. So the queen. Indeed. So let me get this straight. The plan was to get into the castle and lay with the queen? Exactly that. You were right. That is the most absurdly idiotic plan that I've ever heard. I told you, but it worked like a charm. I still don't get it. What worked? What has he accomplished by that? After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments on the bedside, and told the queen he'll be right back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the king's guards and told him that he saw the queen with the company of a strange man, sneaking into one of the chambers. The guard rushed in and witnessed the queen naked in bed with the man's clothes right next to her. As a loyal servant, the guard reported on the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife. That would be bad for his reputation. But he could pursue her lover. Unfortunately for him, at this point, Jordan was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare that he borrowed from the stable into the sunset. I still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch the filthy seducer, but it didn't mean he couldn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the one thing that Jordan left behind. Except his undergarments and a pleasurable memory for the queen, his name. Not his real name, of course. The name he used when he introduced himself to the queen was the Lord of the Orchards. Precisely. Now you get it. That's incredible. Lord's head must have left the company of his body pretty promptly. He didn't get killed. That would have been Jordan's style. The queen begged for his life to be spared, so the king threw him in the dungeon where he spent all the days that he had left. Jordan was amazing. All that, with just the power of his wits and speech. He surely showed the Lord that he shouldn't have wronged him. Don't get the wrong idea about his reasons. Jordan didn't get through all that just because of what the Lord did to him. You see, the Lord was cruel, merciless, brute. He mistreated all of his subjects. He killed for fun, raped for sport. People used to call him the laundry man, because one of his habits was drowning his bastards in the lake right after birth, like unwanted kittens. Jordan needed to stop him, and he did. But that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any rightful successors. But then, with just an uncannily perfect timing, came a distant cousin of the Lord's. A charming young man with 2 different eyes. You have to be kidding me. He easily acquired all the possessions of his sentenced relative, but Jordan didn't want any of that, not for himself, so he took only 3 bags of coins from the treasury, and he left everything else in the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He was still probably worshipped there. I can tell you that. Oh, and one more thing. Why 3 bags, you might ask? Well, that's easy. One for the tailor, another one for the stableman he took the horse from, and the last one was for himself, with the exact amount of coins that he was rightfully supposed to earn for his work at the orchard. I told you, Jordan wasn't a thief. And that was it. He mounted his beautiful mare and he left the realm, continuing his adventures. At least that's the story that he used to tell us. So nothing of that may be true at all. Ha! But that's just how it was with Jordan. Now I understand what you and Unigos were talking about. It really does seem surreal. I've never met anyone else like that. Don't get me wrong. He had his flaws, but the things that he could do. His tongue wasn't even silver. It was made of pure gold. But wait, you didn't tell me. What was the purpose of the Undying Fist? Oh, I thought it would be obvious. On that day, Jordan's mission was born. He knew that the spoiled, rotten elites that were scattered all around the world, they were draining the life and dignity from the hard-working simple folk, and that he was capable of stopping them. To some extent, at least. So that's exactly what he started doing. Overthrowing corrupt lords and giving back to the community. He sounds like a hero. Well, it was, I guess you could say that. So how did you join the pack? Jordan was working solo until he met Unigos. That rat's agile fingers could work where Jordan's tongue didn't. And then they needed someone with other talents that they were lacking, like strength and manliness and bravery and independence and gallantry and integrity. All right, I think I get the picture. So they recruited the best there was. I was, between jobs at the time, so I gave them a chance. And finally, the pack started to really make a difference. But I don't like to brag. Oh yeah, I noticed, humble to the bone. Oh, thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boast about our skills. And just like the sun doesn't need to prove it's bright. Anyhow, I already spoke more words to you than I did in the last 5 years to anybody. So it's time for you to go. And preferably, don't come back. Ever. Well, it was a great pleasure and a true honor. Yeah, I don't care. Leave now. And in return for giving away my location, deliver this delicious meal to Unighost. It's his favorite. A knuckle sandwich. Do you want me to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. No, you didn't. Okay. All right. It's in the box. We're not going to rob it. Oh, it's really dark. This is going to be a long ride. A long ride back. What are the deer for? And we're looking at the end of a day. Let's see. We want to get home. There's a trail right there. So we'll just cut across to that, head down to Barrow, and scoot ourselves over that way. So let's just do that. We'll ride along here. We'll make a campfire when we get down to Barrow. I don't know if we can make a fire here by the wagon man, but too close. Too close. All right. We'll do it right here, and we'll go to bed for the night. Oops. And we'll call the episode here. Appreciate you watching and taking the time. If you like Medieval Dynasty content, like the video. And don't forget to subscribe to see more. It'll make it a lot easier for you to find any future videos that I post. And I really enjoy having you here. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch the video. If you enjoyed the content, please utilize the like button as that simple action benefits creators like myself the most. Also, if you're interested in seeing more, subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to more easily find previous videos as well as regularly posted content in the future. And of course, if you have something to say or you want to join the conversation, please use the comments below, as I genuinely want to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Until the next one.